Well, hello everyone. Thank you for waiting for me. Sorry I'm late. The alarm didn't go off. Okay, we continue discussing Master YongHua's Chan instructional talks, and let's go over the slides that we talked about, that he started. So the temple is built by the emperor for Gung Te Kai, and because the temple, Master Gung Te Kai's virtue is great. It allowed a lot of Chinese bhikshus and bhikshunis and laymen, laywomen to be able to cultivate, have a place of cultivation. Thank you. And that's important because basically with the emperor's patronage of his Dharma, Buddhism started to take root in China in the early eras. Okay. Early days. So not much happened practically with the cultivation. But so one day he decided to not eat, and he retired to his room very quickly before finishing his meal, and sat in full lotus. And this is what you do. This is one of the things that you should learn to do, that is to sit in full lotus. Because that's the best way to sit, and that's your best protection for you. Your best defenses are deployed when you sit in full lotus. If you do anything important at all, they will come to attack you. Okay, so your defenses, your best defenses are always on as soon as you switch to full lotus. So that's why we recommend to you to train yourself to sit in full lotus. Okay, naturally, without even thinking, that posture right there enables you to be at your best self-defenses, if you will. Okay? And he was properly adorned, and so he knew the time was up, so he put on his best. He sat upright, full lotus, and yin ran hua, and we talked about this last night, and I want to thank the people who helped me understand the Chinese character here, yin ran here. So please continue to do that. The fact that you're able to show me the dictionary about the meaning of these things, these characters, I'm able to help you understand together what it means. Yin ran here means that yin has many meanings, but one of the meanings is that you stop breathing. Yin xi, okay? Yin xi, hu xi. So you stop breathing naturally, hua, naturally, and passed away. Okay, so it means that he had a natural death. At his level, he decided to die. He has the ability to die at will, if you will. Okay, and so he basically allowed himself to stop breathing naturally, and that's what they call a natural death. Okay, that's a good death for us. and left. Wang Sheng here is left to take a new body. Wang is he left and was born to be born somewhere. Okay, and that's what it means practically in Chinese. I feel doesn't mean as the present day people like to say that rebirth here, the Chinese imply that they're reborn to the Pure Land, but it's not. Wang Sheng here only means that you leave this place, you go somewhere else, you're born somewhere else. That's all. And his level is reborn to the heavens. Okay. Yes, question? 9, 7.
Thank you, Master. I think this is the most specific example I've encountered so far of what Buddhists consider a good death. As a Westerner in culture, I guess it's like more of like an asura nature kind of concept, but a good death can be considered, dying in battle or dying defending your family or things like that. I have ideas of why this would be considered a good or maybe an ideal death for Buddhists, but could you expand a little bit on this so I can better understand why?
Okay, good question. I'm glad that the non-Buddhists and the pale faces ask questions, because we yellow faces take a lot of things for granted. At least I take a lot of things for granted. In death, which is a big mystery for Westerners and for young Asians nowadays, death is a significant. It's a significant event in our lives for Asia. So for the Asians, the Buddhists in the know pay attention to how people die. And so this is a very good example of how you're supposed to die. It's what is called a Buddhist good death. You die naturally, especially if you are a cultivator, you die of your own accord, of your own choice, your own time, your own place, and so forth. Whereas if for the Westerners who consider a good death like you die while fighting, while at the battle, and you die by the sword, so forth, it's not considered a good death in Buddhism. Why not? The concept here is described by Master YongHua in a small booklet called The 10 Dharma Realms Are Not Beyond a Single Death. Anyone read that? Okay, that's a booklet that's he describes that the 10 Dharma realms, the 10 realms where you can be reborn, you can be born to, are accessed by that single thought. So he talked about the 10 realms, meaning the 6 realms of the reincarnation wheel, and the 4 realms of the sages, where they are reborn. So the 6 realms of reincarnation wheels are for living beings, ordinary living beings, such as the gods, heavenly beings. Number 2, at the top of the 6 Dharma realms is the gods, are the gods who rule over us. Number 2, human realms, and that's below that, gods, human realms, asuras. Okay, asuras are the beings who are always fighting and love to drink. Okay, and then you have hungry ghosts, then you have animal realm, and then you have the hells. Those are the 6 realms where when you are not out of reincarnation wheels yet, every time you die, you take on a body within those 6 realms. You keep on going round and round and round and round. Okay? And if you are a sagely person, then you can be born to the 4 sagely realms of the Arhats, Pratyeka Buddhas, the Bodhisattvas, or the Buddhas. Okay? Yeah. So the 4 sagely realms are for sages, meaning that they can choose to go. They can choose to go there. They don't. They have their own choice. They don't need to go see King Yama. In the 6 lower realms, everyone who dies needs to go see King Yama. Okay, so what are those 4 sagely realms? The Arhats refers to the 4th stage Arhat. Pratyeka Buddha is a slightly higher level wisdom and samadhi than the Arhats, and therefore they have a special realms to go themselves. Okay, and then the Bodhisattvas, of course, and the Buddhas, and those 4 sagely realms. Okay, when you die, you go directly. Okay. Whereas the lower realms includes 3rd stage Arhats, 2nd stage Arhats, 1st stage Arhats, you still need to go see King Yama. And King Yama said, yes, Venerable, I'm glad you're here. I have such heaven, and the other heaven. Which one do you prefer? I know that heaven, particular heaven, you have a heavenly palace waiting for you already. And it's already for you. Okay, so they'll be treated differently, of course. But for the people who are still in the wheel, they go to those 6 realms. And the reason you go to the 6 realms is because of the final thought you have. Okay, the very last thought that you have before you expire. That's where you're going to go. Okay, so meaning that this is why this guy here, and it's Gung Te Kai, and before he died, he went to Samadhi. He entered Samadhi and stopped breathing and passed away. Okay, and so he willed his death, and he generated his own last thoughts, which is a thought of a 2nd stage Arhat, which later we'll find out what level. Master YongHua talked of his level a little bit later. Okay? Did you have a question, or are you just stretching your arm? Okay. Rumor has it you won the Super Lotto last night. You from Altadena? Is it not true? I mean, if it's true, I'm impressed. That money
Master, I'd like to repent.
change you at all.
I like to repent for.
Wealth didn't change you at all.
I like to repent for lying
I would
last
have
night.
thought that if you won the Super Lotto, you have gone to a barber shop already.
Master, I like to repent for lying last night. I didn't win Super Lotto.
Okay, I'm glad you came clean. Okay. And so the thoughts are very important. So if you have the last thought there, that is a thought of greed and anger and stupidity, those coarse thoughts, you fall, of course, to the hells and so forth. Okay, so when you die in battle and you say, you've been shot by, like in the movie scenes, by 20 different bullets, and it's a terrible death because it hurts. I say, ouch, 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 it hurts. And with that, we most likely will fall. Yes, sir.
Master, if I've cultivated a lot and then I die a bad death, would my blessings come back at the very end for my last thought? So I can enter. I wouldn't have to go through the 6 realms. If you've attained fruition and you die a bad death, and you have a bad thought, does that automatically mean you're going to go to one of the lower realms?
Most likely. Even if you have the fruition, and you have a bad death, and after you die, a bad thought, and after you die, you have to the chance to improve your lot during the 49-day periods after your death. Okay, so usually, even if you have a bad death and you have some wisdom, like you are a 2nd stage arhat, like this guy here, there are very good chances that you'll be able to recover during the 49-day period. Okay. For example, this guy here, let's say he died in pain because he was poisoned and put something in his food so that he's poisoned to death, and he was in pain when he passed away. He forgot to enter samadhi, and so he's, because of that thought of pain, he's destined to fall to lower realms. Okay. However, there's still 49-day period where things happen. So after he died, most likely his disciples would do a 49-day service or would pray for him. Okay, and so during that short period, blessings were created on his behalf, and therefore he's able to recover. Okay, if he is a 2nd stage arhat, most likely his disciples will be usually at least 1st stage arhats. Okay, so they can create a lot of blessings for him. So therefore he'll be able to recover, most likely, because he's a virtuous person. However, even if he reached 2nd stage arhats as a monk or as a lay person, and he, during his time on this earth here, he created a lot of offenses. Okay, even if you have wisdom, you have kung fu, and you created offenses, most likely, because of that, his disciples, whatever, and people who help him during the 49-day periods, will not be able to undo his own karmic offenses. And that's why I saw recently with some of these people. They are pretty good. They're supposed to go to the heavens. They're supposed to be in a good lot because of their kung fu during their practices when they're still alive. But they created severe offenses. Okay, so every time the meaning of the book that Master Hsuan wrote, the 10 Dharma realms are not beyond a single thought, means that every time you have a thought. You're creating the seeds for you to go to those 10 realms. So for example, when you're alive, and this guy here, most of his thoughts were in a good range, and therefore he's bound to go to the heavens after his death. Those seeds are numerous. However, let's say he created a serious offense, like intentionally hurt a person who turned out to be a bodhisattva. Even if he's not aware of it, okay, it's a very serious offense. Okay, or he's confused why he's hurt that bodhisattva. He's stupid. Remember, 6 and 6 to us, has a lot of holes in their wisdom. They don't understand. There's so many things they don't understand at all. Okay, so he intentionally hurt, let's say, a bodhisattva. That's a very serious offense, folks. Okay, and because of that, every time that happens, you tie a huge boulder on your neck. Okay, so that by the time you die, you have these many boulders hanging at your feet. Okay, they pull you down. So even though he has those seeds to go to the heavens, and during the 49 days, his disciples were reciting sutras, reciting mantras and so forth to help him. They had to be strong enough to pull the weight of these boulders for him to make it to the heavens, to counteract the weight of these boulders. You understand? So that's why every single karma you create originated from your thought. And every single bad karma you create, you are planting the seeds for you of where you're going to go in the future. And more importantly, the last one, okay, very important, the last thought is critical, assuming that you don't take advantage of the Buddhist 49-day service at all, help at all. Okay? Yes, 9.
I said to Thầy, would you please explain the difference between the rebirth black and the 49 day for the person that's still alive? And then my next question is, at what age can we asking for the 49 days? Thank you, Thầy.
Okay. Difference between rebirth and 49 day. 49 day is the kind of Buddhist help you receive during the 49-day period after your death. Okay, and that's the traditional Buddhist practice from Asia. It is a practice of compassion, where even though the majority of the Buddhist monks and nuns don't understand what it's all about, most of them now do it by tradition, because really not a whole lot of information is provided by the senior Dharma masters anymore. So it becomes a tradition. In particular, to be honest, it's a very important tradition for the Buddhists, monks and nuns, because it's a major source of revenues for them. Okay, and this is what Buddhism excels. It's better than the other religions in that sense, because this is a teaching from the Buddha that was done out of compassion in order for us to have a second chance. Okay, meaning that we can receive external help. And so I'm very pleased wherever I go, saw how whether it's in Korea, Taiwan, or Vietnam and so forth. I saw how the temple still put a lot of emphasis on the 49-day service to the communities. I think it's a great thing, and they should be preserved traditionally, culturally, because it's very important for the deceased. Because during that period, it really matters what you do on behalf of the deceased. And so even though, for example, the monks and nuns who perform these ceremonies just do it because it's a procedural thing, it really makes a difference, makes a huge difference, a lot more helpful than you realize. Okay, so how does it help? Because if the monks and nuns, usually most monks and nuns, the reality of it is that most monks and nuns who are still monks and nuns usually is because they have some kung fu. Okay, meaning that they usually, I notice in most monks and nuns, for example, the Vietnamese monks and nuns, I've noticed, who are still monks and nuns after a long time, they're at least third dhyanas. Okay, they enjoy that dhyana level, so it makes life pleasant for them, makes it worthwhile for them. So when they do ceremonies, people at those levels around that range, they can generate blessings, heavenly blessings for you. So that helps. Whereas the monks and nuns who don't cultivate at all, meaning that they are too young or don't have a lot of seniority, and this is why the Buddhist tradition of respecting the older monks and nuns makes sense, because those senior monks and nuns, when they recite the Buddha's name for you, they recite sutras for you, when they make a difference, they have some samadhi power. So therefore, they're generating a lot of blessings on your behalf during a 49-day period, so that it goes through the plus columns for you, so that at the end of that period, King Yama can look at the final tally and send you to a better place. So the 49-day thing, it really makes a difference, big difference. Okay, and so that's what. So in general, for the Asians, according to Asian traditions, you should go to the temple and request that kind of service. And nowadays, people do it out of tradition. They call the temples and ask, how much? And so forth. That's what they do. Okay, and it's a good thing, regardless. Whatever the temples they finally choose, it's helpful. I'm saying this because I'm reminding the monks and nuns this is very important. Even though whoever you are, whatever level you are, you should take it very seriously, because it's an act of compassion, a teaching of compassion from the Buddhas. So. Do your best, okay, and feed them every day if possible, okay. But there's a problem during the 49-day period here. It's very short. In order for most of the Asians who wish to go for rebirth, it requires a lot of blessings, because it's very far away. The Western Bliss Pure Land, where we have the best chances to go as far as Pure Lands go, for us here in the Sahara world, okay, it's very far away. and you need help, especially this disease need help. And therefore, the problem is that it's too short. 49 days is only 7 weeks, and most temples only do it like on Sundays, where they recite for 2 hours. Okay, so you recite 2 hours 7 times, so that's 14 hours. Tell me how much you can do in 14 hours. Can you build a bridge? Can you build a house in 14 hours? Can you build a rocket in 14 hours? Okay, so that you can be sent to the Pure Land? Even if you can build a rocket, you don't know how to build a hypersonic, super hypersonic thing so that it gets there so that it gets there. So that's why it's very, very difficult during the 49-day thing here. Okay, and so that's why monks and nuns should take it more seriously and be more vigorous. 2 hours, I feel, is not enough. Yes, 4.
From Cordelia, let's say she requests a pre-49 day, but when she passes away, her family forgets to tell the temple about it. So if she requests a rebirth plaque for over 20 years, will it be enough blessings for her to go to the Pure Land without Master's help?
Most likely. Okay. Now, the point here is that during the 49-day period, you should all know that your creditors, the people you owe debts to, they are, for example, when you're sick, it's because the ghosts of sicknesses kill you in order to make you fall, make you suffer even more than now. And therefore, not only did they kill you, during the 49-day period, they also continue to confuse you, to continue to make you suffer, to confuse you. And that's why you will keep on compounding on the negative side. Remember, for our side, the monks and nuns, the temples, they add to the plus column. But on the other hand, your enemies, your past creditors, are not inactive. They kill you already, and now they continue to harass you and torment you even after you die. Okay, and so that's why the 49-day period is a very important event for us, that we take it seriously and we work very hard in order to generate blessings for you to go. Okay, and the question that was recently asked is about pre-49 day, and this is what I decided to do on my own. Went out on a limb, and because there's only a few gullible people in my temple, so I said, what the heck? These people, they have nowhere else to go. Because remember the crazy bipolar people? They cannot get along with anyone. Wherever they go, eventually they say, I'm fed up with this. I'm out of here. And so after a while, I realized they are going nowhere. They ain't going nowhere. So that's why I said, well, you should do the pre-49 day, because you get the full benefits. You request that service before you die, and then you get all the benefits. Traditionally, the Buddhist families only go to the temple and ask for help after you die, and therefore, whatever they do, you get only 1/7. That's in the Earth Store Sutra. Okay, so that's why we do a 49 day. We recommend you do it. Better yet, if You are not afraid like many superstitious Asians who feel that if you do anything before you die, it will make you die sooner. Okay? It's not true. You should arrange for the pre-49, okay? Preferably. Okay, so the 49 day is only during the 49 day. It's a big battle, if you will. All right? And so therefore, that's why we, our temple, we decided to recommend the pre-49 day for people. And then again, as soon as you do something, people always ask questions and want more. So they said, what about, I want to go to the Pure Land. What about, what can I do before, even before I die? And so I said, well, if now you asked, if you're smart, like right now, a good friend of mine, he told me recently, he said, I sold all my houses, all my properties, except for, where he lives, of course. And he said, yes, I lost money because I sold before, after the real estate prices started going down. So I lost some money, but I have cash now. So I'm waiting, okay? I said, Super Lotto? He said, no. I'm waiting for it to go down further. I will buy and write it out until it comes up again. Okay? My point being that he's a smart investor. He's made a lot of money here in California investing in real estate. So I said, you see the concept? If you spend millions of dollars investing in your future here, why not spend to invest in your future in the Pure Land? And that's a rebirth plan. If you're so smart, if you really have the blessings, you will invest in your rebirth because that's your future there. Wouldn't you like to start buying now so that the Pure Land, I heard, also have inflation? I don't know, okay? But it sounds better. It's best hedge against inflation. Okay, real estate. Yes, Q&A.
Có nhiều người thắc mắc và hơi là lo ngại là còn sống mà thỉnh bài vị 49 ngày. Vậy là mình thỉnh cho cha mẹ chẳng hạn, chẳng phải là mình trù cha mẹ chết hay sao? Thì con có trình bày là bản thân con với lại nhà con là Nguyên Đức đã thỉnh bài vị 49 ngày 5-6 năm nay rồi, mà con vẫn sống nhăn răng và càng ngày càng khỏe ra. Cho nên là không có cái vấn đề mà sợ hãi như thế. Còn con xin có một câu hỏi là nếu mà đã thỉnh Pháp 49 ngày tại chùa của thầy thì có cần phải rước thêm một chùa nào nữa để mà gia đình mỗi tuần đi cúng thất như là tục lệ của người Việt Nam hay không? A Di Đà Phật.
Emitofuo, Master, a lot of people have curious about this problem. They were hesitated to say that for the alive, when we request 49-day request the 49-day Dharma for them, isn't that we wish them to die sooner? Especially for your mom and dad, does it mean that we wish them to die sooner? Somehow I tell them that with my personal experience, I request 49 days for myself and Nguyen Đức for 6 years already.
That's her husband.
So I still stay alive and be healthier than I was before. However, I have a question. If we request 49-day Dharma from Master, do we need to request another 49 days during the periods we pass away in accord with the Vietnamese tradition so that the monks and nuns can recite sutra on our behalf?
Okay, good question. My answer is that all I'm trying to do is encourage you to take advantage of this Buddhist tradition of the 49-day service. If you're afraid you're going to die sooner because you want to live a little bit longer than YongHua and her husband, it's okay. Don't request a pre-49 day. Don't do anything. But at least have your family go to the temple and ask them to do a 49-day service. It's so helpful, trust me. Okay? I hope that it's a Buddhist tradition that will never die, but it will, because that's the nature of your opposition. The demons are not only content with destroying our political system here, as well as our world as well. So it will get worse and worse until all these important tools to help you from Buddhism will be destroyed. Okay, people don't believe anymore in those things. I remember some of the ex-disciples who left in disgust. Okay, and they said, "Your rebirth thing is a scam," and therefore, I want to tell everyone to not believe it. Okay, and insult you about it, and that's and it's understandable. These poor losers, if I may call them so, without any emotions, losers. They are being pulled, manipulated by the demons to destroy the Dharma. Okay, they're just too stupid to know. That's all. So I feel that it's so important that everywhere I go, I encourage them, if I have a chance, to go to the local temples, to the temples they believe in, and ask for 49-day service. It's a good thing. It's a good tradition. A lot more helpful than you realize. Okay. Any kind of 49-day service is helpful. So meaning that if you even have one here or one somewhere else already, and you go to the next temple and ask for one more, because let's say your grieving family, surviving family cannot agree, and therefore they get so emotional, they want to do something for themselves. They said, I want to go to this temple here. I know your request is already, but I trust this temple more. I like it more. Okay. They're like, for example, a Chiu Chow temple here in Los Angeles, who has no monks and nuns at all, but they also have a 49-day service. By the way, it's a bad idea. Okay, the 49-day service should go and should be performed. Go to the temple and that has monks and nuns who perform it. Okay, do not let lay people do it. Okay, because the lay people who do it, okay, don't know what they're doing. It's a bad idea. Okay, yes, it still helps, but it's a bad idea. I advocate you should go to a Buddhist temple to ask for help from Buddhist monk or nun. Okay, please remember that. Okay, so the more the merrier. That's my attitude. And you go to the temple for whatever the reasons and ask for help, and then your family members disagree and they want something else. There's nothing wrong with requesting too. I think it's better For example, during a funeral service, to have slots where the various temples parade themselves and have marching bands and so forth. Okay, or the Chinese prefer, like Yin family prefer those weird Chinese clarinets or some horns or something. Huh? Yin, is that right? Is that what you arrange for your family to do? Okay, and then. And so it's more fun, it's more impressive to show how much you love and honor in the deceased. It's fantastic. I have no problems with it. Okay, it's a good idea. Because to me, the funerals are for two different types of people. One, the deceased, and one, the living. So the living is nothing wrong with doing like the Japanese style where you have like 10 million flowers. They take 10 million flowers and cover up the coffin, for miles. So that's how they show their honoring their deceased and so forth. There's nothing wrong with it. It's a good thing because if it helps the grieving family, survivors, the surviving family, it's great. Okay, I embrace it. You have that kind of money to spend and you believe in it. Why not? It makes you feel better. Go for it. And after like the Americans here, especially New Orleans, after you die, they will do like in the James Bond movie. You remember that movie? Live or Let Die or something like that? You don't watch movies at all? Am I the only one left in the world who watches James Bond movies? Yeah. Okay. It's fantastic. It's so beautiful. Okay. I'm for things like that. Yes, 9.
Mô Phật bên Thầy. Một cái là làm cho thế gian coi đẹp mắt đó, Thầy. Quảng Ngân không có cái tâm ý đó đâu. Gia đình Quảng Ngân bây giờ đó là theo Thầy có cái pháp Thầy thỉnh 49 ngày để làm thôi, chứ ngoài ra mà nó làm cái chuyện mà thế gian đồ này kia là Quảng Ngân không làm. Chẳng thà mình làm mà mình có tiền đó thì mình trồng cái phước cho cái người đi nhiều hơn, chứ không có mà để tiền mà xài phung phí nữa đâu Thầy. Bởi vì mấy người mà mê muội, mấy người không có mê muội đó, mấy người đó thì làm ấy chứ giống Quảng Ngân gì đó. Bây giờ giống theo Ngài Hòa Thượng Tiên Hóa đến đây là theo Thầy là ngồi có tin có 2 chỗ là có cái pháp 49 ngày để cho người ta thỉnh thôi. Chứ ngoài ra là ở ngoài đời đó làm là kêu bằng làm cho chúng sanh coi được thôi, chứ không có giúp cái gì được cho những người qua đời hết á. Mô Phật.
Emitofuo Master, there's one thing that people do for the world to see with the beautiful eyes. I, Yin, would not pay attention to those. My family now believe in your Dharma of 49 days. Even if I have money, I would plan blessings and would not waste on such things. Like Venerable YongHua, I believe I found 2 temples, 2 places would be able to do 49 days. And the outside of that, the worldly people, I don't think that they will be able to make it to 49 days.
Mô Phật. Và Thầy nói về Ngài Hòa Thượng Tiên Hóa, Thầy cũng không có cái pháp 49 ngày cho nó thỉnh đâu. Mình theo ngồi biết có là ở đây Thầy là có cái pháp 49 ngày nữa. Mô Phật. Và Thầy con cũng hỏi Thầy nữa, miễn mà mình làm cái pháp 49 ngày đó, chính là mình tự mình ra làm đó. Thầy nói cái phước báo nó nhiều hơn là để người ta để người ta cúng, để người ta làm cho mình. Hai cái đó thầy.
Emitofuo Master talking about Venerable YongHua, I don't think that he also have the 49-day service like you have right now. I only know that you have that 49-day services for us, the Dharma for us. And also, I would like to ask a question. Is it beneficial, better to myself request my own 49 days? The blessing is better than my family requesting it on my behalf?
Yes, I'm glad you asked. Because usually what happens after you die and your family goes, your family is bereaved, is in grief, and therefore they confused. So they may argue, may have a lot of issues, and therefore they may not ask properly. So in the past, especially in the last few years or so, I find myself refusing services because maybe they have a bad attitude, okay, or especially if the family members, even though they're bereaved, but if they don't ask properly, they don't follow the proper protocol when you talk to a monk and nun, we probably don't need to take it from you at all. So yes, we did turn down quite a few requests because for various reasons, primarily because the family's attitude is not proper, okay? And in some couple of cases, I happen to believe that these people should go to the house first. Okay, and when they are about to enter the house, they'll, at that moment, they know it's me who sent them there.
Mô Phật bạch thầy, giống cái bà này mới làm 49 ngày ở đây đó thầy. Thầy bà ở New York á, thầy bà ở trong ở dưỡng lão á 9 năm. Con cái bà, con của y đó, mà người nào người nấy cũng có người nào người nấy là cũng khá giả chứ không phải ấy, mà bỏ bà ở trong cái dưỡng lão là 9 năm. 9 năm rồi xong cái mà mình tưởng là ba má tôi thì qua đời cũng tới giờ 7 năm rồi, mà bà sống tới giờ 9 năm. Thì mình mới hỏi, mình cũng tưởng là bà đi qua đời thôi chứ không có còn nữa, đúng không? Cái sau chuyến này tự nhiên cái bà đòi qua bên Cali này rồi. Bà đòi qua bên Cali này. Qua này đúng 1 tháng cái bà mất. Mất rồi đó thì bà không biết theo cái tâm theo cái linh tính của ngọ đó, bà không biết muốn ngọ giúp bà những cái chuyện gì, mà ngọ rất là khó chịu đi, mà lúc trong ngọ chưa giúp cái chuyện đó thì ngọ rất là khó chịu. Thì con ấy đó thì đi thỉnh những chị thầy để đi tụng đám cho bà đó, mà những gia đình y bàn tính đó, nên là cái chủ này đó tụng đám cho bà đó là đầu đuôi có 2.000 thôi. Thì con những gia đình 5 đứa con đồng ý hết, nên là bây giờ muốn kêu những cái chùa này đó tụng kinh đầu đuôi thì có trả có 2.000 thôi. Trời, ngọ nghe cũng rất là khó chịu. Cái ngọ mới hỏi con dâu đó, nó là thôi bây giờ đó thì 2.000 thì bây giờ gia đình chịu 2.000 rồi, thôi bây giờ qua bên thầy bên này thỉnh đi, thỉnh làm 49 ngày đi. Thì cái đứa con dâu đó thì nó nghe cũng rất là mừng, cũng rất là chịu thì mình ý là bây giờ đó miễn mà thiếu thốn đó thì miễn mà gia đình không có ra đó thì tôi với bà em với Lan 2 người để thỉnh thêm cái mấy ngàn để thỉnh cái bài vị cho bà. Cái con dâu nó làm thôi được rồi, cô làm đi, làm cho má đi. Sau cái ngọ mới ra đây thỉnh cho làm bài gì 49 ngày cho bà đó. Tự nhiên mà thỉnh rồi đó, mình tự nhiên mình thỉnh xong cái mình con người nó nhẹ nhàng mà nó vui hết, vui thiệt là vui, cái tâm mình nó rất là hoan hỷ. Tôi nói chắc bà cũng bà đó thầy muốn qua đời đó, thầy bà 1-2 bà muốn qua bên Cali này, qua 1 tháng cái bà qua đời. Rồi ở đây làm đám rồi thiêu rồi cái mới lấy cái cho cốt về bên New York đó. Mô Phật. Thì mình làm rồi mình cũng quá là, tôi nói bà này thầy cũng biết nữa, bà hồi đó có đi với mình đi qua bên Hawaii chơi rồi đó, bà cũng có đi theo cái tụi mình nữa. Thì tôi nói là bà này bà cũng có phước báo lắm. Bà ở trong này dưỡng lão 9 năm rồi mà mình tưởng là bà qua đời rồi mà sao mà bà tự nhiên bà đòi qua này. Rồi đây này có 1 tháng, đúng 1 tháng bà qua đời. Mô Phật.
Emitofuo, Master, for example, this lady, we just recently did the 4090 service for her. She lived in New York for 9 years in the senior home. So however, my mom and dad passed away. It's already 7 years. I don't know what happened. Somehow, for some reason, she decided to go to California. And after exactly 1 month, she passed away. And in my instant, I felt like she wants me to help her with something. Somehow my body feels very uneasy, uncomfortable. And so her children wanted to request the 49 days from that temple for only $2,000. It will take care of everything from beginning to end. And I've heard of that. I feel very uncomfortable, very uneasy. So then if their family got $2,000, I will help with another $2,000. Then it would be able to help her requesting 49 days at our temple. So I told her daughter-in-law about these issues. And then they're very happy about that. Even though they don't give out the money, me and Lan can actually cover the cost for requesting the 49-day service from Master. So then after I request that service, somehow my body felt very at ease, very relaxed, and very happy. Maybe it is because she wanted to die here, to let it cremate. After she got cremated, her remains bring back to New York. And this lady, I think you know her because we went along with you to Hawaii.
She's very lucky. She's actually, we're getting bigger and getting busier, so I'm a little bit more selective in when we try to help. Okay, there are plenty of temples out there who can do the service, and we don't want to compete against them. Actually, I prefer to go to those temples first because they need it. We are busy helping our people, and it's a lot of work, and so it's actually, to be truthful, it's quite difficult to get to us. Because I'm even beginning to reject requests for 49 days, especially if the family comes and they have the wrong attitude. I would stir them to other bigger and nicer temples, more prestigious temples. Yes, 4.
2 questions. The first one is from Ruda. Master, forgive my ignorance for these questions. What makes the rebirth plaque so effective at helping us go to the Pure Land? Shouldn't rebirth in the Pure Land be based on our own cultivation efforts?
Okay. Is that one more question, or that's it?
The next one's from SKY Gu. Master, I'm very sorry if this is a stupid question, but were there any cases where people created specific karmic offenses and couldn't make it to the Pure Land with your 49-day service? If so, could Master kindly share with us these types of offenses so that we can avoid it?
Okay. Can we stick to the lecture? What was the question, the first question again?
Shouldn't rebirth in the Pure Land be based on our own cultivation efforts?
Of course, it should be based on your own cultivation, but more often than not, your own cultivation is not enough. So if you will, a Pure Land Dharma door is sort of the Buddhist insurance. That is just in case that what you do is not enough because you don't know, you don't know for sure it's enough. It would be so perfect, it would be so great if we we're told that you recite the Buddha's name 1 million times, that's enough. But there's no such a thing in Buddhism. A person who recites the Buddha's name or the sutras and for a long, long time is not guaranteed they make it to the Pure Land. Okay, so that is most of them. In most of the case, is not enough yet, not for this lifetime. That's why I stress 49 days is a very short period. It's a lot of work, a lot more than you think. It's the people I've seen, the Buddhist disciples who've been reciting Buddha's name and been practicing Buddhism for 20 and 30, 40 years, okay, and go to the temple religiously. And most of them will not make it. 99% of them will not make it. That's how difficult it is. It's not that simple. As simple as you think, okay? And so most of the time, your own cultivation is not enough. The self-help is not enough. And that's part of the self-help, meaning that the Buddha is trying to tell you, this Pure Land Dharma door here has two parts, self-help and others' help. If you feel that your own cultivation is enough, fine, stick to it. Okay, and that's your choice. And just in case it's not enough, then you may consider asking for help. That's all. No one is forcing you. If you feel that, hey, I'm a great cultivator, I can be second stage Arhat here, and I can go to the Pure Land, I have bad news for you. Even if you're a second stage Arhat, even if a fourth stage Arhat, it's not for sure you can go to the Pure Land. It's that difficult. Okay? Even the Arhats don't have enough blessings to go to the Pure Land. If you feel that your own spiritual practice is enough, so be it. That's all. We're not advocating that you should stop and cultivating and depend on others. We definitely encourage you to work harder and harder and harder. Okay, and that's the first aspect. Second aspect of Pure Land Buddhism that's not explained to you is that there's something called rebirth grade. The Asians are so desperate that all their wish for is to go to the Pure Land. What I teach our followers is that rebirth is great, but remember, the Buddha also says there's a rebirth grade that you need to pay attention to. There are 9 rebirth grades. Actually, it's 81, actually a bit higher. Okay, there are many different grades of rebirth that the Asians and praise the Lord. If they want to go to rebirth only, to the Pure Land, great, let them. Okay, but for us Americans, in a Dharma ending age, we are not content with just rebirth. We want to be reborn to a higher grade. Okay, what does higher grade mean? Let me put it bluntly for you, since you asked the question. You say, is it enough? If you ask a question, that means your rebirth grade is not that great already. If you have to ask, and say, am I not enough for me to go to the Pure Land on my own? Okay, if you are in control of yourself, you feel you can go to Pure Land on your own, great. Then you start thinking about your rebirth grade. But if you only stop and say, hey, I can go on my own, that means that you're only hoping for rebirth. That's all you believe yourself capable of doing. Okay? Now I'm telling you, I have bad news for you. Your rebirth grade ain't going to be that great. Oh, excuse me. Okay? So definitely, no one is forcing you. You feel confident that you can attain rebirth on your own, so be it. Don't ask for help. It's perfectly okay. But if you have to fight me, if you have to argue with me, it shows you're not that confident. If you're that confident, you look at me and say, he's talking nonsense. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Just like I look at you and say, yeah, you reborn on your own? Okay, forget it. Okay. And what's question number 2 again?
Were there any cases where people created specific karmic offenses and couldn't make it to the Pure Land with your 49-day service? If so, could Master kindly share with us these type of offenses so that we can avoid it?
We never quite got there. Okay, I realize that I'm an oddball. I do things differently, and that is difficult for people to understand. Okay. I feel that the Asian Pure Land Buddhism is not good enough for me. Okay, I feel it's falls short, and that's why we do it, what we call it American Pure Land Buddhism. With the objective very simple. You go there now with the greatest rebirth grade possible. Okay, and then you cultivate so that you become a Buddha quicker, so that you come back and save us. Okay, it's that simple. Okay, we are still suffering. You got to go there first, and I wish I could go there with you. Okay, there's nothing here, seriously, that would keep me here. If I had a choice to go now, I'd rather go now. Okay, that's my first choice. But it's not always. Life is not like that. But anyway, so when I do a rebirth thing, it's because I feel I have a good chances of doing it. Okay, and that's why historically, to be honest, I have been able to help 100% of the times. Okay, because I'm picky. I look at a person and say, okay, I can help. Look at this case, yes, I can help. Okay, and so I'm rather picky, if you will, and so my success rate is phenomenal. Actually, it's pretty good. Yes, there are cases where you will not make it to the Pure Land, not because of me, but because I refuse to help. because I know you're going to the hells. And I love you to go to the hells for a while to reflect on your karmic offenses. Because you don't realize what happens when you go to the hells. Before you enter the hells, you know at that moment, before you cross the threshold, like when the Christians are told, hey, what happened to the Catholic? It's so quiet tonight. When you enter the pearly gate, that them people believe, there's someone there, the gatekeeper says, okay, passa. Okay, you can enter. It's the same thing. It's similar here. When you enter the house, okay, the very moment before you step into the house, there's a thought that says, that's why. This is the reason why I'm entering the house. Okay? And that moment, these people that I refuse, they know that it's me who sent them there. Okay? Because I refuse to help. Yes.
Master, if do people realize, along with that, I had this question I was thinking of last night. If people do something wrong and they go to the hells because of it, similarly, they would know this is why I'm going to the hells, not necessarily because you sent them there, but that this is what they did wrong, and that's why they're there. Do they get that full circle moment of understanding?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Not just me. I'm really a good dude. I don't typically send people to the house. It's just some people I personally feel they should go to the house for a while. Yes, 7.
Thank you, Master. Respectfully, I will disagree with you. I don't think that you're a good dude. I think you're the best dude.
The what?
The best kind of dude. In all seriousness, no. My question is: you mentioned that at the time of your death, you can have a thought that sends you to the 6 realms of the wheel of reincarnation. What are the ideal thoughts for me to have at the time of my death so that I can go to the 4 realms outside of the wheel?
It's beyond your control. And that's a problem unless you cultivate and you get to the sagely realms. You need to cultivate. And then you get the sagely realms, then you have control over your destiny. Okay? But if you don't cultivate now, you really have no control. Even these guys here, this Gung Kai here, he thinks he's cool. But if he created offenses, he may be able to he may be able to die peacefully. Okay? But there's still a 49-day period here where his offenses will catch up with him. It's a lot more precarious than you think. It's very, very dangerous during the 49-day thing. Okay? And so the more help, the more temples will help out, the more you do, the better off they're going to be. Okay? Don't take things for granted. Okay? For you personally, you should continue to cultivate because it would help your current life. But for you, honestly, you need help to go to the pure light. Okay? All right, jewel conch. It's not that simple. Trust me, it's a very, very difficult thing. That's why most of you are still here. You keep on, if you went to the Pure Land, you wouldn't be here. You wouldn't come back, would you? Only losers would come back. I mean, Yes, 4. Gong, go ahead.
네, 단톡방에 올라온 장수아님 질문입니다. 49제에 관한 질문을 드리고 싶은데요. 만약 돈이 없다면 49제를 지낼 수 없나요? 너무 당연한 질문인가요? 저번에 마스터께서 한국에 오셨을 때 키우고 있는 강아지에 대해서 미리 마음의 준비를 하라고 하셨습니다. 그런데 저는 백수이고 돈이 하나도 없습니다. 강아지를 위해서 49제를 지내고 싶은데 돈이 없어서 지낼 수 없다면 다른 방법은 없을까요?
Master, maybe this is obvious question, but it's about 49 days. If I don't have any money, but I like to request 49 days for my dog. I remember that Master visit Korea. You told me that I need to get ready for my dog. He's gonna pass away soon. Unfortunately, I don't have any work, and then I don't have any job, and I don't have any money. Although I like to request 49 days for my own dog because I don't have money, is there any other way to help my dog? Thank you.
Yeah, I do it for free. Just because I like you. Oh, by the way, who are you again? My master, this is what I learned from Master YongHua. We do it to help people. It's never about money. If it were about money, you can't pay me enough. To be honest with you. Okay, in order for people to retire here, we're talking about at least $1 million to $2 million just for the miserable final years of your life. Okay, you need to budget $1 or $2 million. Okay, just for you to live for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. Huh? And when you go to the field and you live for billions and zillions of years, how much money do you think that is? You can't pay us enough to go to the Pure Land. To be honest with you, the money is only a test. That's all. You can't pay me enough. Actually, for you to go to the Pure Land, I have to use my own blessings. What do you think? Huh? If the blessings are not enough for you to go to the Pure Land, how can I help you? I have to use my own. You just say you're just so greedy and so stupid. You say, okay, I don't want to know. Just send me there. Just make it happen. And then your family member comes and says, hey, you want to do it or not? I say, no. Because of you? I didn't say because of you. No. But who is this person again with the dog thing? Oh my God. Because that's what my teacher taught me. We do this out of compassion. So those of you who believe, who come to the temple and practice with us, okay? If you cannot afford it, we do it for free. The money you pay me is not enough anyway. Okay? But it's very difficult for you to stay at the temple. We come to the temple, you insult it all the time. And I lose my temper. So, if you survive after a while, then okay, you earn the right to get help. Okay, anyone else? 4. There's lots of comments tonight. I should have come a little bit sooner.
From Diego, Master, what's the difference between higher grade and lower grade?
The difference is a lot more expensive than you think. Okay, it takes a lot of blessings. The denomination is blessings, isn't it? People think that you spend money and say, okay, here, master, here's a temple, take it. Or Altadena, who says, hey, here's a few $1 billion. Is it $1 billion? No, only $2 billion. He can't give me billions of dollars. The Pure Land Dharma door, let me tell you, is priceless because it requires something extremely expensive, something called faith. You don't have enough blessings, you will not have the proper faith to make it to the Pure Land this lifetime. The reason most people don't make it to the Pure Land this lifetime is because they have inadequate faith, believe it or not. The people who like the YongHua's friends and colleagues or who've been practicing Buddhists for decades, 40, 50 years, okay, they still don't have adequate faith to make it to the Pure Land. This is what the Asian teachers fail to teach them. Like that guy who died already, Jing Kung, he teach the wrong Pure Land Dharma door. That's why most of his followers will not make it to the Pure Land, because he didn't teach them about faith, the wrong kind of faith. What happens to them people is that they believe in what? Themselves. He said, I'll make it to the Pure Land. I'll send you to the Pure Land. There's no such a thing. You are a confused layperson. How can you possibly send people to the Pure Land? And they all talk like that. If you were like that, I slap you in the face immediately and said, stop being so stupid. You're not even a monk or nun. How dare you talk like that? The Pure Land Dharma door, as far as I know, it is ours, will be transmitted to a monk or a nun. Okay? Not lay person. Sorry. That's how it is. You don't have faith in Buddhism to become monk or nun and make sacrifices to prove yourself to be a worthy monk or nun. Forget about it. You don't have enough faith. How can you possibly help others? You're a lay person. You don't have enough faith in the Dharma to shave your head. And you want to help people, send people to the Pure Land? Forget it. It ain't going to happen. Okay? So that's the one thing. Even though this is why I encourage people to go to the temples, okay, and ask for help from the monks and nuns. They have to prove themselves for a long, long time. And that's how they develop their own faith before they're taught. Yes, Q&A.
A Di Đà Phật. Dạ con có một câu hỏi này nhưng mà con xin sám hối trước là bây giờ là thời mạt Pháp thì không phải là tất cả những người xuất gia đều là những vị tu hành chân chánh. Nếu mà nhờ một cái vị giả tu lo 49 ngày thì câu chuyện nó sẽ như thế nào? Kết quả sẽ ra sao? A Di Đà Phật.
Emitofuo Master, before I ask this question, I would like to repent in advance. So nowadays, we are approaching Dharma, and we are in the Dharma ending age. So not all of the monks and nuns, left home people, are properly cultivating. If we request 49 days from the fake monk and nuns, what would happen? What would we ended up with?
You will end up where you deserve to end up. There's no guarantee in life. No one can give you any guarantee at all. You try your best, okay? And you follow the instructions. That's all you have. So that's why you should plan a lot of rebirth blessings. So when during the 4Qi, the Wan Yin Qi, for example, at the end of that, we did a great transference to help you generate great blessings for yourself, and then giving it away to the people you care for. Okay, that's why that's what we do it continually in order to help you and to help your loved ones. It takes hard work. It's not that simple. Okay, and the one thing that you will learn more and more as you practice is that thing called faith. Okay, if you have the blessings, your faith will be adequate. Okay, so for example, I see in Gold Force an old lady who sits in the back wearing gray right there. Okay, I don't know why she keeps on coming. She keeps on coming. For some reason, she likes us. It's kind of weird. The temple doesn't even look like a temple. And my experience has been that when my disciples had enough blessings, they're not clear about whether they believe or not, but I try to kick them out, I can't. Or I kick them out, they come back. It takes a lot of blessings. And you can talk all you want, but unless you have enough blessings, it's not gonna happen. And when you have the blessings, then you naturally believe the proper things. Okay? So that's why plan blessings for rebirth. That's so critical. And then when it happens, you go to a temple that is not good enough, so be it. That's all you have. Okay? But it's beyond your control. Okay? In Buddhism, there's also something called Yin Dao, Pusa, meaning the Wan Yin Bodhisattva, and that's what the Chinese believe, the Wan Yin Bodhisattva who manifests itself as Yin Dao, Pusa, who ferries people to what the Chinese don't understand is that what the rebirth system is a network where it's just like when you want to travel by train, you have to go to the train station, yes? You have to make it to the train station, okay? And then you transfer. You go to another station, train another station. You have to make transfers until you get the final station where you can go directly to where you want to go. Sounds familiar? The same thing in rebirth. You may have to start with a lesser temple where, so you won't, you stay on that train, it's not going to go to the Pure Land. But at least, you go to the next station. Okay, eventually your blessing will bring you to the next station, until you get to the right station to go to the Pure Land. That's all. That's all you have. Okay, and that's why your faith is so critical, and develop a faith by planting a lot of blessings. Go ahead, Kong.
안녕하세요, 헬로 마스터.
Hello.
입재입니다. 마스터, 제가 한 2년 전부터 왼쪽 어깨하고 뒷목이 너무 아파가지고요. 근데 병원은 가지 않고 계속 이제 운동하고 그렇게 했는데 다행히 한 6개월 전부터는 왼쪽 어깨는 많이 좋아졌는데 계속 그때부터 다시 오른쪽 어깨가 너무 아프고 팔을 뒤로 돌릴 수가 없고 그리고 뒷목 이렇게 목 주변이 너무 아파서 누워서 잘 때도 베개가 예를 들어서 이렇게 자다가 빠지면 고개를 들지 못해서 손으로 고개를 들고 베개를 다시 넣고 이렇게 하고 자고 했거든요. 그리고 요즘에 이제 계속 이렇게 결과부자하고 법문 듣고 이렇게 앉을 때도 가끔씩 순간적으로 목이 뻐근해서 이렇게 뒤로 돌리면 갑자기 이렇게 꺾이는 그런 느낌처럼 통증도 있고 굉장히 무겁거든요. 근데 아직 두통이나 그런 건 없는데 오른쪽 어깨하고 요 뒷목 부분이 굉장히 아파요. 그래서 사실은 2주 전에 너무 힘들어하다가 아는 지인분 소개로 이제 병원을 잠시 다녀왔는데 50견이라고 한국인들이 많이 50견이라고는 얘기했는데 주사로 그 굳어진 근육을 떼어내야 돼서 주사 한 2-3번 맞고 목하고 어깨를 하고 왔는데 그때는 좀 좋아지는 듯 부드러워졌는데 다시 계속 아프거든요. 그래서 이걸 어떻게 했으면 좋겠는지. 근데 오늘도 사실은 혹시 같은 병원 한번 가볼까 하다가 어제 현지 스님께 여쭤보니까 그냥 오래 앉기를 한번 해보자 해서 오늘 저녁부터 조금 오래 앉아보려고 계획은 하고 있는데 어떻게 하면 좋을까요?
Hi, Master. This is Ipjay. It's been about 2 years. I have been getting pains on my left shoulder and back of my neck. I didn't go to the hospital, and what I did was I did exercise. And about 6 months later, my left shoulder improved, got better. But now I have a problem with my right shoulder. It's up to the point that I cannot move my arm. And also back of my neck, the condition is so horrible that even if when I was sleeping and then I need to move my pillow, I can't move my neck. So I have to support my hands with my head and then remove the pillow. So what I did was I sat in full lotus. In that situation, still I felt the pain in my neck, back of my neck, and it was pain and feel really heavy. There's no headache, but I have a problem with my right shoulder and back of my neck. About 2 weeks ago, I went to the hospital, and then they said they need to remove some muscles from those areas that I have a problem. So they did a procedure with a needle, and then And then what they did was, after the procedure, I still have a problem. I still have a pain. So today I was thinking about, should I go back to the same hospital? And then I had a consultation with Master Z, and he advised me to sit maybe longer Please advise what would be the best way to take care of this.
Don't go back. Just keep sitting and it will go away. Okay? Hopefully it should get better. If the doctor keeps on removing your muscles and messing with your body like that, I don't like it. Okay? Just meditate. Usually the pain there is from you're getting some blockages of your qi. So in principle, sitting will help unblock it eventually. Okay? So give it another week or two, and it should get better. Just endure more pain. I told you, it's very difficult to keep on coming to the temple. You have a lot of tests. Okay? You have all sorts of obstructions. And that's how you improve. Okay? Don't worry. Within 1 or 2 weeks, we'll get better. It's fairly simple because, especially since it happens right out of the blue, it's some chi being blocked, and it's a good thing. Okay, yeah, we'll get better, hopefully. If not, then the doctors can cut it off.
감사합니다. Thank you, Master. 그리고 저 12월 1일 날 미국 갑니다. 그때 12월 1일 날 출발합니다. 세라님, 그때 뵐게요. 네.
So, Master, I'm gonna come to US in December 1st. I'm looking forward to see you. And I'd like to provide a little more information. Venerable XA said her condition is called frozen shoulder. That's her condition.
Frozen shoulders? Okay, I look it up, what it means. Okay, don't worry, it'll get better. Hopefully. Okay. All right. Here's what, and let me explain to you. It takes blessings to generate more blessings. It takes a lot of blessings for you to be able to come to the temple. And because going to the temple is so difficult, not only for you to make it here, but also to stick around is very, very difficult. It takes even more blessings for you to stick around, because if you are able to stick around, you can generate even more blessings. And so part of your being able to generate more blessings involves your passing tests. If you pass the test, you generate more blessings. You fail the test, you have to leave. That's how it is. It's not anyone's fault. You're just not good enough. Believe it or not. It's not my fault. You blame it on me or someone else. No. The real bottom line is that you don't have enough blessings. Like Master YongHua said, everything is a test. You come to the temple, do you have a lot of tests? Okay. So it's not uncommon for people to do temple hopping because they can't, they fail the test, they have to leave. Okay, it's no one else's fault but your own. That's how it is. Well, some people were stupid, come to our temple, they said, I want to fast. And guess what happens? Today, we have Korean potato chips. So we open the bag, say, smell it. Are you going to fast or are you going to quit? Our temple is very casual, actually. It's lots of tests to test your resolve. You believe or not? If you believe, you're willing to make sacrifices. You don't believe? Better luck next time. Yes, 7.
Thank you, Master. I'm asking this question on behalf of my wife, who is focusing. When someone passes away, but before the 49 days ends, where are these people? Are they stuck in a different realm until they are saved by the 49 days service?
They, after you die, you go into something called intermediate skanda body, 中阴身, and that's basically you're a ghost. And you live in the conditions, under the conditions of what ghosts live. So it's not a good state unless you receive help. So for example, when you go to a temple, the family goes to the temple and asks for the 49-day service, and the temple feeds them every day, that's extremely helpful. That's why I meant. Even if they cannot help you a whole lot, but if they, the mere fact they at least feed you every day or recite once a week, that's extremely helpful. It's greatly appreciated, trust me. Then after that, when you're under those conditions, you may have been a great politician, an idol, rich man, rich woman, and so forth, okay? After you die, it's a different ball game. You can use all the help you can get.
Thank you, Master. Is that true even if you even if you're not going to the six realms of reincarnation, even if you're going to one of the 4 realms like a sage would?
Yeah, you're basically a ghost until you get a new body. So after you die, you become a ghost. This ghost is actually a special ghost. It dies every 7 days. Okay, so that they get to see King Yama once every 7 days. So they get to see it. They have this ghost has 7 chances to make it happen, and that's why 100% of the cases when you're under those conditions, my experience has been, as soon as they realize they can go to the Pure Land, I'm out of here. I ain't waiting for a better grade. You see, get me out of here. So they immediately went to the Pure Land as soon as they could. Yes, 7.
Thank you, Master. So is it like that scene in Beetlejuice, where like you're sitting in a waiting room and there's a guy with a shrunken head next to you and you've got like number 356 million? Or like, what's it like?
Well, you find out. Tell your wife, she'll find out. Yes, 4. Okay, last question, okay? I know I'm late, but you cannot lay guilt on me. Yes.
So, Master, is it more important to fast or more important to listen to your good knowing advisor and eat the Korean potato chips?
You blew it. This is Dharma either way. You see, in our temple, there's not a one way. There's so many ways to do it. It's okay to fail, as long as you don't quit, no matter what. Meaning that you keep on coming and coming and coming. That's it. That's all you have to do. Everything else, go with the flow. Okay? It's not, the Dharma door is not the one we're teaching, one we're practicing. Is extremely flexible. It's not a single thing. See, the reason that the Chinese taught their own kinds to stick to, for example, to a particular one Dharma door, reciting Buddha's name, meditation, mantra, and so forth. It's because they don't have the skills to adapt to the environment. Yesterday it rained, so what did I do? I stayed in my room. I ain't gonna get wet. I cultivate in my room. Hey, just to show to you that, hey, it's okay. You are warm and dry here. I'm not gonna walk, under the thing without umbrellas. Usually, when it rained, my disciple would quietly sneak the umbrella and put it in the back, in my back door. So in the morning, I check my back door. Hey, no umbrella? Ain't going to the temple. So guess what? At lunchtime, it stopped raining. That's why I came. If it didn't stop raining, I ain't going to the temple. You see, our practice is very flexible because that's the fastest way. You don't understand. The Chinese in particular, they're inflexible. They say, I'm going to go this way, only one way. No, we're not like that. That's not how I learn how to practice. I learned to adapt. Sometimes I zigzagged, okay, because I didn't have any teachers. So I had to figure out a way, okay, because if you stay there, you only keep on grinding. You can't chisel away. It takes too long. And we're too old. I was too old to I cannot afford to chisel out the mountain. It takes too long. Okay, and that's fine if you don't have any advice, any guidance. There's a Dharma where you keep on drilling into the rock, like the Hua Tou there, you keep on drilling and drilling and drilling. That's all you need to know, and that's great. Okay, but to me it's too slow because it's inflexible. Life's too short. You keep on drilling this, you have to come back again and keep on drilling and drilling and drilling. It's too long. So that's why, if the question, the person who asked the question happened to say, okay, I go for potato chips, fine, there's a different Dharma door after. And if you fail, stick to it. Either way. Okay, to me, that's what makes teaching interesting, because it's not a single thing for each and every one of you. Does it make sense? I had to grind it out because I had no one. I was asking questions and no one could guide me. So I see. I realized that I lucked out. That I got through the maze, but you don't have to be that way. Okay, thank you, everyone.